My name is Elena. I want to tell you about my life, a story of hard work, hope, and learning. I did not grow up with much money. My brothers and I helped our father every morning before school. We cut mangoes to earn a little money. Even though we were just children, we worked very hard. After that, we went to school every day, no breaks and no rest. It was tiring, but we knew school was important. At school, many children had money. They bought snacks and drinks, but we did not. We just watched them. Sometimes it made me sad. Sometimes I felt angry. But I never stopped going to school. I knew that learning was the key to a better future. One day, my brother asked, "Why don't we stay home and just work?" I didn't know what to say. Then my father spoke, "Because I didn't have this chance. But you do. I will work harder so you can go to school." His words changed me. I began to believe that maybe one day things could be better for us. Even though we had little money and food, I never gave up. I didn't know if a poor girl like me could change her life, but I knew I had to try. When I finished high school, I was the first in my family to do that. We were all very happy. But then I had a big problem. I had no plan, no job, and no money. I didn't know what to do next. I looked for work every day. I asked friends, neighbors, and went to offices. I waited and hoped, but no one called me back. I felt useless because I could not help my family who still worked cutting mangoes. One night, I heard my parents talking. My mom said, "Why does no one give me a chance?" My father said, "Her time will come." I believed him. The next day, something small but important happened. A small company needed help with accounting. I had no experience, but I said yes. I was scared I would fail. The first day was hard. I didn't know much and made many mistakes, but I learned something new every day. After some weeks, the accountant told me I was doing well. It was a small job, but it meant a lot to me. I started doing more tasks, like reports payments and talking to clients. Slowly, I grew and began to believe in myself. One day, the accountant left, and the manager asked me to take the job. I was young and scared, but I said yes. I became the treasurer. I had a big responsibility, and my parents were proud. I sent them money every month to help. It was not much, but it was something. They gave me everything. Now I wanted to give back. I learned that no matter how small the beginning, every step counts. Even as a child cutting mangoes, I was planting the seeds for my future. This part of my story reminds me and others that hard work, courage, and believing in school can change your life little by little. Sometimes when life feels hard, it's easy to give up. But I learned that the smallest job, the smallest chance is the start of something big. If you keep trying even when things seem impossible, you grow stronger. This is just the beginning of my journey, but it shows that dreams can start with hope and hard work. After I became the treasurer at the small company, I felt proud, but I also wanted more. I wanted to grow and learn new things. After 4 years, I decided to try a bigger company. It was a national company that made dairy products. I didn't think I would get the job, but I got an interview, then a second interview. Finally, they told me, "Welcome to the team." I was going to be an internal auditor. This new job was a big change. The office was bigger, the work was harder, and I met many new people. I had to learn new systems and rules. I traveled to other cities to check reports and find errors. It was difficult, but I liked it. I worked many hours, but I was not tired because I was growing again. One day, a coworker asked me, "How did you start?" I told her I started by cutting mangoes. She laughed because she thought I was joking, but I was serious. That moment made me think about how far I had come. Then something unexpected happened. I met a person from the United States. We started talking and dreaming about the future. He was kind and respectful. After some time, he asked me, "Do you want to start a life together?" I said yes. We got married. My life changed very fast. I left my job, my country, and everything I knew. Moving to the United States was not easy. The language was different and the culture was new. I couldn't speak English well, and sometimes I felt lost and small. I wanted to cry many times, but I remembered my father's words, "Never stop learning." I started learning English little by little. I watched videos, listened to people, and repeated words. I made many mistakes, but I did not stop. I told myself I learned accounting, and I learned how to work hard. Now I will learn English too. Months passed, and my English got better. One day, my sister called me. She said she was helping our parents come to the United States. I was so happy. After a long process, my parents came. They were safe and comfortable now. They didn't need to work hard cutting mangoes anymore. Seeing my parents at peace made me very thankful. I asked myself if this new life was real. My parents said, "We are proud of you." Those words touched my heart. I didn't feel strong or powerful. I just felt grateful. Even though my life was better, I felt something was missing. One day, I heard a mother helping her child learn English in a store. The child was scared and confused, just like I was when I came to the U. As that night, I realized maybe I was not here only to live better, but to help others too. I started sharing my story with people at church work and online. Many people listened and thanked me. One girl said, "I want to learn English. Can you help me?" I said yes, even though I did not know how. I started teaching simple words, then phrases and sentences. She said, "You make it easy. I feel brave when I learn with you." That moment changed everything for me. I understood that my life was not only about what I got, but also about what I could give. Helping others made me feel alive and hopeful. My story shows that we can grow and change no matter where we start. It is not easy to move to a new country and learn a new language, but with patience and courage, it is possible. Sharing and helping others is a beautiful way to give back. Life is about learning and giving. When we help others, we also help ourselves grow. We are stronger when we do not give up. This part of my journey reminds me that every new challenge can be a chance to become better. Life in the United States was very different from what I knew. At first, everything felt strange. The language, the people, even the way of living. I could not understand English well, and it made me feel small and lonely sometimes. I thought, how can I live here without knowing the language? But I remembered what my father always said, "Never stop learning." I started to learn English slowly. I watched videos, listened to conversations, and repeated words every day. I made many mistakes, but I kept trying. It was hard, but I knew learning English was the key to a better life here. I told myself I learned how to work with numbers. Now I will learn how to speak English. After some months, my English became better. I could talk to people, understand more, and even help others who were learning too. My sister was also here, and she was helping our parents come to the United States. I was so happy because our family was coming together again. When my parents arrived, I saw them again in this new world. They did not need to work hard cutting mangoes anymore. They were safe and comfortable. I felt thankful and proud. They told me, "We are proud of you." Their words made me feel strong inside, even though I felt ordinary. But even with this new life, I felt something was missing. I was safe. I had a home, but inside I felt empty. One day, I heard a mother speaking Spanish to her child in a store. The child was trying to learn English, but was scared and confused. I remembered myself trying to speak and understand years ago. That moment made me think deeply. I realized maybe I was not here just to live better. Maybe I was here to help others who felt lost, scared, and alone, like I once did. I started to share my story with people at church, at work, and online. I talked about Cutting Mango's school hard work and learning. People listened, cried, and said, "Thank you. I needed this." One girl said, "I want to learn English. Can you help me?" I said yes, even though I did not know how to teach. I began teaching simple words, then phrases, then sentences. She said, "You make it easy. I feel brave when I learn with you." That moment was important for me. I understood that my life was not just about me. It was about helping others too. Teaching made me feel alive. Every student reminded me of who I was. Many people told me I am too old to learn, or I don't have time, or I feel alone. I told them I started over in a new country with no English. If I did it, you can too. I said, make small time for learning. One word a day, one step at a time. I told them, you are not alone. We are many, and we don't give up. I learned that the real dream is not just to escape poverty or live a good life. The real dream is to rise and then reach back to help others. This gave me new hope and purpose. My past was not something to forget. It was the key to helping others open their future. Sometimes I ask myself, what if I gave up? What if I stopped trying? Maybe I would still be cutting mangoes with no future. But I didn't stop. I believed, worked hard, and waited. And now I want to tell you, you can change your life too. Even if you are poor or scared, or if no one believes in you, you can start small and grow. You can be more. My story is not magic or luck. It is about choosing not to give up. And maybe, just maybe, my story is the voice of every child who once had nothing but believed in something. That is what keeps me going. As I continued teaching English to others, I realized how much power a simple story can have. My story was not special because I was rich or famous. It was real. People saw themselves in it, and that gave them hope. Many who came to the United States had dreams but no words to express them. I wanted to help them find their voice. Teaching was not easy at first. I did not have formal training. I learned as I went, using simple words and small lessons. Each time I helped someone learn, I felt joy and purpose. It was more than a job. It was a way to give back. I remembered my father's hard work and my mother's hope. Now I could help others work toward their dreams too. I taught many people, immigrants, workers, mothers, and fathers. They were all brave, just like me. Some were afraid to try. Some felt alone. But little by little, they learned. And with every lesson, I saw their confidence grow. It reminded me of when I was a scared girl in a new country, learning a new language and trying to find my place. Helping others made me feel alive and hopeful. It showed me that success is not only about money or a good job. It is about the difference you make in others' lives. The people I taught were not just students. They were friends and family. I shared my story openly, and in return, they shared theirs with me. Sometimes people told me they felt too old to learn or too busy. I told them, you are never too old. You can learn one word today and one more tomorrow. I said, you are not alone. We are a community, and we support each other. Those words helped me and helped them. My new dream became bigger. I wanted not only to live a good life, but to help others build their own good lives. Every student I taught was a reminder of who I was and who I still am. My past was not a burden, it was a gift. It was a tool to help others open their future. Now when I look back, I see so many moments that made me strong. The hot sun while cutting mangoes, the hunger at school, the fear of the first job, the loneliness in a new country. All those moments shaped me. They gave me courage and hope. I want everyone who hears my story to know this. You do not need to do big things to be important. You do not need to be perfect or rich. Every small step, every small effort matters. Your story matters. Your life has value. Learning never stops, and giving never ends. We all have the power to change our lives and the lives of others. You can start now, no matter who you are or where you come from. Please like and subscribe to BTM English Story. Together we can share stories, learn, and grow. Thank you for listening.